miles aside from us.
Hi guys, my name is Karinge Mbugua and I'm a visual artist in Nairobi city. I'm an artist, a visual artist in terms of portraiture artworks and paintings and drawings. Yeah, so I do a lot of portraits, but I do different kinds of art. So I do portraits because this was actually a project that I've been doing for like now 2 years. It's called Faces of Kenya project. So that's why you can see a lot of portraiture. But I also do other kind of arts like landscapes, animals, wildlife, stuff like that. Yeah, for me, it's an inborn talent. I used to do this since I was very young in primary school. Just general drawings. Teachers would realize I was a bit, they say serious, but my creativity was coming out at an early age. So I used to do diagrams, illustrative body parts. They were a bit precise, so they got a lot of notice on them. So it's something that I've had, but I've been doing it all through guys who know me from primary school, high school, even college. They know I'm an artist. So I really didn't come out doing it professionally until after formal education. This is just like in 2015. Yeah, 2015 is when I actually began doing like this project, because initially I was doing just simple sketches for people, maybe portrait for family, maybe for a gift. Somebody wants to give a friend a gift, for a birthday gift or something. They were just easy portraitures. But then I realized I needed to do something so that people could know. I would say some of my friends also advised me. I had people tell me like, you should do something. Maybe people should see, because most of them were complimenting me. They say this is very good. Like people should know that you're doing this. So that's how I decided. So I thought about it and I decided a project that's going to be big in a way that people are going to see it. So that's how I came up with Faces of Kenya. Yeah, it's been running for close to 3 years, maybe 2 years and some months. The idea behind it was our country, because I realized that we don't have a set of I'll not call them principles. Like we are not grounded in any particular thing. Like in music, like we always, it's Nigerian music, it's something, we are really not, but people are proud to be Kenyan. But I realize that the different factors that bring us together that are not the, the common things that people look at, maybe like the music that we know, or other stuff. So that's how I came up with something like sports, because I realized we are a very sporty nation. We have guys in marathon, we have Julius Yego in, we have a rugby team doing very good out there in the world stage. So I realized if I would project these images and just keep on reminding people that these are some of the things that us ourselves make us great as a people. So I thought that would bring something different to our society. Like people start having their own way of things. If it's like we'll really become truly Kenyan, because I felt like we were not really, on the same wavelength. Yeah. Oh, my process is basic. I think it's what every artist does. Maybe I scale out the sizes depending on how the picture is laid out. So I notice maybe what other artists notice. Maybe I notice proportions. I look at the proportions and how they're supposed to fit on whatever size I'm putting on. So I measure out proportions. So roughly I put out the proportions before I start putting in the details. Those ones I sketch with a light pencil, so that I can always maybe rub off if I make a mistake, because for portraitures is a bit it's a bit tricky. So you really need to sketch out fast and get your proportions right. After that, now I come with charcoal, because I basically use charcoal and pastels. These are soft pastels, the colors. So I start off with charcoal. In some cases, I don't really start off with pastels. Mostly I start with charcoal, so that I can get the shades, and now I can bring out the various features that I've highlighted with the light pencil, so that now I can see the image popping. So that now I start putting the shades. And then finally, I put in the color with pastels. It's really I just put it on and just rub it off with something. And then I create the highlights, to create that like 3D effect. Yeah, where there's highlights and like there's something, like something going. It's in the shadows. You need to show that. It's really it's not that every artist uses that. I think what sets me apart is the combination, because I haven't seen a lot of artists combining charcoal with pastels. That's what artists see different. And it's a combination maybe they haven't get used to, but now I'm bringing it on board in the art, in the visual industry, so that people can expect. I had some artists before telling me that pastels, they are so hard to work with. Some of them gave me their pastels. So it took a lot of experimenting. Yeah, because I used to be just a black and white. Drawing someone's face and actually having it not coming out like perfectly. I think that's the most common case as an artist. It's really hard. That's why a lot of artists run away from portraitures, because portraits needs a lot of concentration. You need a lot of. What I usually do, I settle around mostly on the eyes, because that's my little secret. I came to realize that it's a lot of people, not everybody, their character lies in the eyes, this area. So if you get that correct, you can place the other components in a way that is going to match. Because every time you look at a portrait, you don't see the features. It communicates more of like the character of the person, the way they behave, the way they smile. So that's what you communicate. So I thought the eyes, they really capture the image of the person. So I concentrate on that. I try to get that right 100%. The rest of the images, I can fumble with them, But it's been a long journey, because I've been doing this for a very, very long time. So every time you learn something, it never ends. You can never be perfect. You can never be perfect in art, in any form of art. You can't be perfect. You always learn something. Every day you're working on something. You learn maybe say a new trick, a new shortcut. Yeah, all the time. Yeah. The challenges in art, it's a crazy industry. Though you really feel the challenges when you really start putting yourself out as a commercial basis, like you're really wanting to sell, and you're having like a project like this, and you really have to get material and do it. That's when you feel the pinch of the art, because it becomes expensive to buy material. The material is too expensive, and maybe if you're not making sales, it becomes really hard. But generally, when you are a lot of budding artists, when they're not doing it for commercial purposes, you're not depending on it to eat, pay rent, stuff like that. You're really doing it for fun, just for fun. You don't feel a lot of like the financial burden on it, because you don't have really a lot of expenses to go through. But now when you come up to doing commercial basis like what we're doing right now, it's a lot of challenges. Material is too expensive. The market is not very good. People don't really maybe understand or appreciate. I don't know. But I think it's in this part of this world. Because I had some friends telling me they have traveled a lot. They tell me, oh, art does so well in Europe. They think I'll do so well out there. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it's true. Yeah, it must be true because a lot of the arts and entertainment business and music, all that stuff, even sports, they do so well outside. I think because their democracies are a bit well structured. Yeah, it's not like what we have. Absolutely. There's you always have some. You win some, you lose some. So I've won some. Yeah, I've won some. So I've had a couple of encounters that have really been fun doing portrait artworks for. Like, I try to target these really well-known people. So I've been helped out a couple of times with some friends. Some of them was just pure luck. And I had some good wins. Like, I would say this famous legend, he's a footballer, Ronaldinho. I've seen him on TV since I was a young kid. So the day he was here, through, I think it was Betika company, yeah. They were here, he was doing his launch of, I don't know, Betika or stuff. I'm not sure what he was really doing, but I knew he was going to be in the country. And I'm a big fan of him, so I knew I'll have to do his portrait. And somehow I'll have to get it to him. And I actually managed to get it to him. So we had that photograph doing rounds on social media. So I felt that was a really big win for me. Yeah, because he's a world-class legend. So getting to meet him, and he really appreciated the work. He was like, "Oh, this is crazy." That's part of what we love about the job. Like, people really appreciating and realizing that you took a lot of time to just do something. So that was one big one. Another one was Michael Dapper, Big Shark. This is a comedian. He's from the UK, yeah? So there's a time he was here. I managed to give him a portrait at KICC after his show. That was a big one too because he was really happy. He posted it all over social media. I had a lot of fun doing that one because I like his comedies and stuff. Also, we had reggae artists, Richie Spice. That's a reggae legend. Yeah, he's been doing, I mean, some of us who are a bit older, we know the guy from like those, like almost like 10 years back. Yeah, so he's a good guy. He was very happy. He really appreciated the artwork. Yeah, and he really thought that was a big thing. I think he's never had a portrait of him like handed to him when he's traveling around the world. So that was big for me. It really took my profile really high because I had people following me on Instagram asking how much does this cost? I need a portrait. Yeah.
Now, speaking of people contacting you and asking you for portraits, how much do you think you can charge for a portrait? Like the least that you charge?
Yeah. My charges for portraits, basically they depend on the size of the portrait, because that size will determine a lot of things. The material that I'm going to use, how much it's going to cost, the finishing of the material, because I don't do the finishing. I have a guy in town, so I usually take them to town. They do the finishing, the framing, all that stuff. It costs me. So he also charges me according to the sizes. So my smallest size, I charge at 6,500. That's an A3 size. And I have the largest size, like an A0, about this size. I charge that at around 60K. Yeah, so we have A3, A2, A1, and A0. Basically, the next number is twice the size of the other. The A2s are twice the size of A3s, the A1s are twice the size of A2s, and the A0s are twice the size of the A1s. Yeah. What's next for this art and the project? That's really, I mean, I can't say like for sure what's going to be next, because in art and in showbiz industries and in stuff like entertainment and like this kind of business, you really don't know where it takes you next. all I'll say is I'm looking at putting a lot more effort than even before in coming up with even new projects apart from these Faces of Kenya, because I also have another project in mind that I'm always planning on, but I haven't put it out for people to see. So it's really hard for me to tell like where this is going to go, because it's a lot of dynamics in this kind of creative, in the creative industry, in the creative world. You know, things go and take a turn for anything. You really can't tell. So I say I just hope for the best. Yeah, I really hope for the best, and I'll say I believe there's a lot more to be done than just what I've already done. Yeah. Yeah, changes in the creative industry, the entire industry. I think what would really change the game for all creatives, be it visual, in entertainment, in music and stuff, I think will be us having like our own support, like us as creatives working together with the music industry, with the sports industry, with all the industries that revolve around, maybe you could call it talents. Yeah, because it's basically the same thing in a different shape or form. So I think if all these people would come together, they would grow. Every industry will grow. This industry, every section of it will grow the entire industry into one big ecosystem dependent industry. And I think if we will do that, it will grow. It will grow to like big industries like what we see in other countries which are a bit far ahead of us. Yeah, I think that would be a big step, because we have there's a lot of like disconnection. There's no support in the industry, you know. People don't understand that it's all interdependent, you know, and there's a lot of also people like they don't like to push things to where maybe they should be. So it's a lot of challenges that we have, you know. Mainstream media and stuff like that, they should really come out and support arts. Yeah. My advice, not really like advice, but maybe I'll give my opinion, or maybe according to what I've gone through, my experiences through art, because it's been quite a while. I would say young artists, I think motivation will be key, because when you're not motivated, you'll not be pushed to come up with new ideas and to keep going, because it's a hard industry. You're not going to make money immediately. It might take you a bit of time, but I think motivation is key. Like you have to find things that motivate you to do what you're supposed to do, or how you're supposed to do it. Or also have just know like you need to improve, because it doesn't have a limit. I have a long way to go. I have a long way to improve. So it always comes as much as you practice. So you practice every day. You're doing a small piece here and there. Just, you know, it's going to make you like become better over time. So it's really much of what you do about it than what really happens. Yeah. How people reach me is it depends. Some people know me personally, so they just call my line. Some people find me on social media. Most people at social media, I have all my social medias have the same name. It's at Karinge Mbugua in Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. All the platforms is at Karinge Mbugua. That Karinge is Karinge, Mbugua. You find me there. I'm always active. I'm always posting stuff. You find me posting some artwork. You also catch me doing some crazy stuff, you know. I'm out there just having fun at maybe other events. I'm supporting other artists. Maybe they're doing music. Yeah, I just love entertainment and all that stuff. So catch me doing some wild stuff. I'm always available. Hit me up at Karinge Mbugua, all social medias. They are on Instagram. I think it's linked to my number, so you can like just call, yeah, directly. Speaking of events, we are having an event on the 5th of October. That's 2019, 5th of October. It's going to be on a Saturday at the Nairobi Railways Museum. We call it the Clever Arts Gallery. I think it's the biggest outdoor exhibition in the whole of Nairobi, maybe even the whole of Kenya. We haven't seen anybody doing something like that. So we teamed up with a couple of friends, and we also teamed up with a lot of Nairobi artists that are around Nairobi, close to between 50 and 100 that are going to be showing. We have crazy stuff. Guys are really talented. You come out there, you see really different stuff. Apart from this, people are doing art is really like, I would say it's infinite. You can't really have a limit to art. So I think that experience can expound that kind of notion that it's limitless. So we have guys out there, they're doing amazing work. So if you really be around Nairobi, or you'll really be in just in the vicinity of Nairobi City, Railways Museum is a place you can't miss. It's Nairobi Railways Museum. It's just in the CBD. It's literally like 2 minutes, just off course. Come to Railways Museum, find we're going to be having a lot of activities, fun activities, music. We have bands playing. I'm going to be having guests, notable guests, legends coming through to support the art. We have guys like Jamal Gaddafi, we have Justo from Jabali, Africa. Those are Africa legends of African music. They're based in the US. He's going to be in Kenya, so he's going to attend. And a lot of personalities in politics, and other showbiz business guys. So you really can't miss it. Just come out. A ticket is 1,000 bob. And there's a lot of food and drinks. You get to meet a lot of people and have a great experience. Absolutely.